Welcome to Switzer Super TV. I'm Paul Rickard. Joining me today is SMSF guru Tony Negline. Welcome,
Paul.
Tony.
Hello.
Look, we want to talk about the budget. The government's come out with some new forecasts around the deficit. Can you run me through those forecasts?
Okay, well, this year, 14-15, they're projecting a budget deficit of 41.1 billion. Next year, they're predicting a budget deficit of 35.1 billion.
That's a slight improvement on some previous numbers. It's largely brought about some slightly more optimistic forecasts on economic growth. 2.75% in 15-16 and 3.25% in the following year, which some people think is a little bit on the high side. Unemployment is also expected to fall from about 6.25% to seeing sort of the high five figures in the outward years. What do all these numbers mean to that elusive cash surplus?
Okay, well, they're now actually not predicting a return to cash surplus until 2019-2020. And net government debt will max out at over $570 billion by 2025-26.
So we're going to be paying for that for a little while.
That's
Let's
right.
move on to some of the changes, in particular how it affects superannuants and investors. Let's start with the age pension, the changes around the assets test limit that were announced before the budget. What are those changes?
Well, they've actually announced two changes. The first change involves an increase in the taper rate. So at the moment, the taper rate takes your pension away based on $150 per $1,000 worth of assets. They're increasing the taper rate to $3 per $1,000 worth of assets. The other change they're making is that they're actually increasing the threshold before the assets test actually starts to bite and take away your pension.
So there are some winners and losers?
That's right. So they're actually saying that they're definitely winners and losers. They're estimating that about 325,000 Australians will either have a reduction of their part pension because of this assets test change, or will actually lose the pension altogether.
And some will actually get a little bit more.
Let's
look at how this actually works. We've got two tables on the screen in front of you. The first table shows you that the current treatment of the assets test and how it impacts an age pension. Table 2 shows you the new rules that will apply from the 1st of January 2017. If you're a homeowner couple, you can have $375,000 worth of assets and still get a full pension. Between $375,000 and $823,000 you'll get a part pension, and above $823,000 you'll have no pension. That change will come into effect from the 1st of January 2017. What constitutes an asset, Tony?
Well, really the only asset you take away and you don't count is your family home if you own it. All the other assets that you own are included. So it's the account balance of your super pension, it is the artwork you own, your stocks and shares, your motor vehicle, your personal use assets, your caravan, every other asset's accounted in.
So for an allocated pension, it's the account balance. How is an annuity treated?
Well, if it's an account-based annuity, same rules as an account-based pension. If it's a guaranteed annuity, it is the purchase price less an assumed reduction of capital for each annuity income payment.
The government was fairly true to its pre-election commitment not to have any new super taxes, and they lived up to that in the budget. But there were three other changes that potentially impact investors and retirees. Can you run me through those changes?
Okay, so the first change actually involves an announcement from last year's budget. They were going to make some fairly radical changes to the Deeming Rules, and Deeming, of course, applies under Centrelink and Veteran Affairs income test. They have decided to ditch those changes.
So they've abandoned a previous change. So pensions are going to think that's a positive, right?
Well, they should, yes, because it is a good thing from their perspective that they got rid of that change. The other change involves terminal medical conditions. If you can get two doctors to certify that you are unlikely to live for another 2 years, you'll be able to get all your super out.
So that's an extension from 12 months to 2 years. I think people in that situation will really appreciate that change.
It is a good change. It's a good announcement. The third change involves an increase in the dollar value of penalty units.